So actually, so what we're going to start with is let's have a little, what I call guppy tank. Okay. So Shan, if you can, Josh, y'all can come up here and we're going to go around the room. And if you want to give us your 2 minutes, you have 2 minutes and you give us, hey, from Kirkendall, yeah. And if you have 2 minutes and then once you give it to us, we're going to provide you with our thoughts. And hopefully they will be educational, hopefully a little entertaining, but well, maybe from him.
I promise that.
Yeah, yeah. So who wants to go first?
Should we turn around and have them be up here? Or they, okay.
Yeah, let's stand up, please.
Okay, we've got a new company called Meghnot, and what we're doing, we're taking NASA technology. They discovered that you not only need air, food, water, and rest to live on Earth, but you need magnetism. So we've got a company that's going to make magnetism. That's 17 people involved with it. My job is to keep all the egos together so that we try to learn master of everybody else. And we're at the process now. We're putting together our deck and we're getting ready to raise money. 17 people, some of them, like Roger, Patty, and Peter, are on the group that actually is going to put this together. And then we have a group of almost the same number of advisors, Rupert and Shan, and a number of others here from this group is out. So this is a wonderful organization. It gives a lot.
Okay.
That discredits all your.
Okay, so you guys have any questions or any feedback on that?
I know a little bit about it. The challenge is basically government regulation and that you have to worry about that a little bit before you go to really customer discovery properly. Need for it, no doubt about it. But making it a really business, or you know, we talked about it, but we don't.
So I don't know much about this. That was very informational. It just wasn't very emotional. You gave me no reason to like want to learn about it. You didn't connect
we
with
get the
me.
money 100%.
Yeah.
No, that's
So
that's the cart before the egg.
yeah. I just
For the cart.
make that emotional connection with me. So give me, you know, why do you care about this so much, or what, and why should I care about it? And try and raise your pitch up to a point where you're talking more about the mission level, and then bring it down to the specifics. So once you capture my heart, then you'll get to my head. It's a one-way street from my heart to my mind.
Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to eliminate diabetic amputation.
Okay.
Okay.
So maybe make a story about my mom has diabetes. She does.
You only
My
gave
mom has
2
that.
minutes. It wasn't an elevator speech.
Yeah. Well, no, that's what we're trying to do. Elevator speed.
Well, elevators again.
Oh, in a
That's
way.
what you start out with.
Yeah.
Right. And the social, this is a social pitch. Okay. And so
2 minutes is a very long elevator.
yeah, it's a long elevator. Yeah,
You must be in Dubai if you're on a 2 minute.
Yeah. So the way I'm gonna stand up to this. So
Thank you.
the way I was taught, right, which was by Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank, and he basically said, look, you've got the quote unquote elevator is just a, hi, I'm Rupert Meghnot with Orlandopreneur, and we create startup machines. Okay. That is supposed to, or I'm Rupert Meghnot for Burnout Game Ventures, where we accelerate game startups from 0 to ROI in 6 months or less. Okay. That right there is supposed to be the hook. The hook to get somebody leaning a little bit closer to you, maybe. And the only response from that is tell me more. Okay. Then you go into your social pitch, which is the rest of the 90 seconds or 2 minutes max, but man, it's really got to be a hell of a show for the last 2 minutes. And you say, first tell me who you are and why I should be listening to you. Okay, we call it name, same, claim to fame. Then you need to tell us what problem you're solving. Okay. And say it in a way that no matter who you're speaking to, they can relate.
Yeah,
Right.
but what you're really talking about, Rupert, is the whole 5-minute presentation.
No, it's not a 5 minute.
No.
This is a 2 minute presentation. And then what you do is then you present your solution, right? And then you talk about your traction, right? We're proving that this works, right? And then you end it with like a goal or a vision of what you want to see in the future with your company and so forth. And then at the end, you basically have a call to action. We have 1,100 members and we're all having a great time and we would like you to join us for RSVP today, right? It only takes 90 seconds to do that, okay? What it does take though is time and effort on your part to craft that message, right? And not only that, I remember when I was learning mine for Burnout Game Ventures, and I was, he was teaching it in Tampa, and 3 days a week I'm driving to Tampa, right? And spending the day there. And I had that thing on my dashboard, and I'm reciting it and memorizing it and everything, and everybody I talk to, I'm standing in the grocery line, right? And I look at somebody and say, and introduce myself, and can I throw something at you? Sure. Give them my pitch. Wow, hey, that's great, right? Once you memorize it, then you can start playing with it, right? Start molding it for the people that you're talking to, right? But you've got to have it first. Because the whole idea of either the elevator or the social pitch is to convert an uninterested party into an interested party.
In other words, to go from a business first impression, which is what that pitch is,
Yeah.
to get to the second impression. You're not going to make a sale about your product or your service on a first impression. Can anyone here describe what they do and do it justice in 90 seconds or 60 seconds to where I want to buy from you? Probably not. So the purpose is sell the mission, sell the reason you're doing it, sell the benefits, sell all those things, and then get to that second impression where the sale can actually
Can I
happen.
try again?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, we've developed a company called Meghnot, and what we're doing is we're taking the fifth known thing of what you need to survive on Earth, which is magnetism. The Earth's magnetic shield actually protects us from the sun, otherwise we'd be a burned up cinder. We're going to start out making loops, and we're using these loops for not only to cure diabetic sores, but also for C-sections. It helps healing of the C-section. The woman gets healthier earlier and she gets out of the hospital quicker for recuperation. It's going to lead for products that are going to help with ED, going to help with migraines, going to help with overall body health. NASA's done 10,000 studies and 20,000 papers on the subject itself, including a 4-year study where they conclusively proved that this helps cell regeneration and growth. It does amazing things. It increases blood flow 2 to 4 times. That's healing. And that's what we're going to be doing. And we're hoping we're going to be very successful in.
Okay.
A pitch when we are giving, maximum time is 6.5 seconds. Remember,
Our ability to receive,
create an impression. Said if you don't get it, they're still investor. If you're an investor, they get dozens and dozens of pitches a day.
Mhm.
They don't have time, and they know all about your business already. Otherwise,
Yeah.
they're not an investor.
right?
If they're looking for something, your job is to convince. They are coming to the meeting not to put any penny in you.
Yeah.
Right? There are so many things. That's why 95% fail. So your job is to convince them why the hell you're doing, what you're going to miss, what you're going to miss. Create a FOMO, fear of missing out. That's what you're supposed to do. So best thing is to, within first 6.5 seconds, create that impression. Can't miss, I can't miss this. I want to know more about it. I don't believe it, but I want to know more about it. That's what you want to create in that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the way it starts. Then you can fill it in. Then you can spend an hour. Job or the first pitch is basically getting a second pitch, second meeting, not a sell.
So who wants to go next?
Can I do a tag on that you could use?
Okay.
Animal magnetism has nothing on it.
Yeah, see,
No more.
exactly. And to Bob and to Sean's point, having that wake up call, that first statement be a wake up call, something that gets people to say, what did he just say? What did she just say?
Yeah, exactly.
Draw them in. Even if you're just telling a story, have a theme around what you're saying. It doesn't have to be about your business, by the way. It could talk about your business, but have a theme around it. I'll do an example. Let people, you want to do one now?
Yeah.
Just I'll do an example. I haven't done this in a while. I don't pitch anymore, but But here's the thing, I love lighthouses. I mean, come on, who doesn't, right? I mean, but see, I love lighthouses, not just for what they do, but I love them for what they don't do. You know what they don't do? They don't go out into the sea and beg ships in distress, please come to shore. They don't go out and leave voicemail after voicemail on the ship's phones, begging them for business. They don't take their ships out for a steak dinner, hoping to earn their business, right? Lighthouses just stand there, but they stand for something. They stand for safety, security, shoreline. Everything those ships in distress need when they're out there in the storm. My question for you is, are you being the lighthouse? Because I promise you, your prospects, your ideal clients, they're out there in the storm. They're drowning, they're perhaps, they're struggling, and they're looking for your light. They're looking for your unique light. And are you bringing that out? Is your light on? Is it strong? Is it clear? Some of you may already know me as the identity archaeologist. I always ask, Josh, what does that mean? What is an identity archaeologist? Well, at the surface, it just means I have no competition. Which you have to admit, in business, it's a cool place to be. But really, it's my process of how I dig into a person, find that uniqueness, that unique treasure, we bring it to the surface, we dust off all that BS crap and conditioning you were told growing up about how you can't do it and there's no money in it. And we get rid of that and we polish and refine that treasure until it shines so bright. People come from thousands of miles to come see it. So if you think this sounds like the end of selling, you're right. But it's the start of actually shining your light and magnetically attracting people towards you. So when you're ready to go from shy to shine, let's have a quick conversation. Thank you. That was terrible. I haven't done that in years.
Just applause, take it.
But that's, tell a story.
I almost thought that.
Okay,
All right,
yeah, sure.
fantastic. Thank you very much. Now, it's hard to believe, but Walt Disney and his brother 100 years ago created a company bringing happiness to the entire world. But the truth of it is, not everyone in the world has the time, the money, and the resources, especially the funds, to travel here to Orlando and deal with the heat, the kids, and especially the crowds, all in the pursuit of happiness. Now, my name is Chris Rhoda, and I've spent my entire career bringing happiness to the world with things like film, video games, and theme park attractions. In my new company, iMyth, we focus on developing happiness as customized theme world experiences, and we deliver them to you on your cell phone. So ultimately, you don't need to travel to Orlando for happiness. You can just, happiness comes to you anywhere, anytime by your smartphone. And currently, we're in the market stage where we're demonstrating and proving our market. And we're currently looking for partners in especially like legal representation and some finance. And we're also looking for investors. And if anybody's interested, please feel free to give me a conversation. Thank you very much.
I like
I
that.
like the opening.
I would encourage you to be a little more compelling in the first few seconds, right? I mean, grab us by the throat or shake us, right? Just like, Disney's, brought happiness to billions of people, and maybe I don't know, either ask if they've ever been or remember when you saw your first Disney film or whatever, and how it made you feel, right?
Mhm.
Right there, that grabs them, right? And then now they're pulled in, and then you can go into the rest of it. It was very good though.
Or also because of I think what I love about what you do is I don't have to stand in line at Disney. I don't have to sweat my ass off. And I don't have to be in the crowd of a bunch of sick
Or
dirty
traffic.
people and all that. You can also just paint that picture, right? Paint that picture for us, make us feel gross and icky and sweaty and nasty, and then say, hey, by the way, you don't have to do that to get to happiness. We'll bring happiness to you, and then boom, you got
That's
it.
exactly right. We have a 2-minute video on that. Exactly. I'm involved, by the way.
Shan's been very, very friendly. Thank you.
This is really amazing. Like 8 billion people there, all over the world. And you can be anywhere. One day you go to Mount Everest. If you can have a Wi-Fi there, you can watch it. That's what we're
But
trying
a
to,
billion of them are right there physically in Disney.
that's what we're trying to, do. This is an amazing project,
Okay,
minimize the stuff.
very good, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to see a story of, Mabel and her kids, how they went and did all this and then, you know what I mean, or some sort of.
Are you available sometime for lunch next week? Because I can,
Yeah.
I'd be more than happy to.
No, sorry.
We only have 2 minutes here, so.
All right,
No, I'm not kidding.
anybody else? Who wants to go?
Thank you.
Roger from Hoovy.
There was this high schooler, played football, very, very good at it, actually. The only thing is he came from a small town, middle of Florida, and broken family. But because of his ability to play and wanting to get to the next level, people saw that. So he brought him to the All-Star game between Florida and Georgia. This was 2 years ago. When he got there, he was asked, "Do you know what Sports Thread is?" He said, "No." So I'm going to put you on Sports Thread. We're going to make some videos. We're going to help you to be seen. So we did just that. Got him on there, did some videos, looked at his grades, put him on Sports Thread on Saturday. By Monday, this kid actually, very good at playing football, very good grades, but had no offers, had 3 scholarship offers in 2 days. That's what Sports Thread does. Now, my name's Roger. I own a company called Hoovy, and within Hoovy, we help through Sports Thread and through esports, kids get to that next level, whatever it may be. With Sports Thread, we give the opportunity for all these kids at no cost to them to put their profiles on Sports Thread to be seen by colleges all over the US. And they can actually reach out to these coaches at these colleges with the click of a button. All of that for no cost to them because we monetize it through advertising the same way that you would see on Facebook or Instagram and so forth as well. So with us, we look at helping these kids get to that next level. So what I do is my area with that is helping to get Sports Thread out to more and more and more people and to help those individuals that are looking to have their company in front of these families be able to do that as well. We've helped over 10,000 students who didn't have an opportunity get scholarships. That's what we do at Sports Thread. We do it through esports as well with Hoovy. Again, my name's Roger. Thank you so much for your time.
I like the story, the hook, right? You could have probably set it up, rephrased it just a little bit to make it more compelling, but it was good. It was good. Usually if I'm hearing pitches, that'll stick out for sure.
I think that's fantastic. Have you thought about how you scale it? Besides Florida, how you scale it, not grow it. There's a big difference between growing and scaling.
Mhm.
You want to scale it. You want to think along that line to build your company.
Well, he's had 10,000 kids through it.
Yeah,
already.
we got over 4 million
Yeah.
users on the app. I mean, I didn't have a chance to really get much into all of it and my side, but over 4 million users on the app. We've helped over 10,000 kids get scholarships. We've helped a lot of kids to really get out of their shell to do it. It's a very positive social media, and we've been named as one of the top social media for sports social media apps in the world. But we still are wanting to scale it globally at some point.
When the iron is hard hitting, this is the time.
Yeah.
First 6 months you take off like a rocket. Okay, that's what I know. Think about scale up. You can easily do that. Scaling is your LTV going up, cost coming down. Customer acquisition cost is almost zero. All profit on the bottom line.
I would have definitely mentioned the 4 million people on your app.
Yeah.
Because to an investor, that's
Yeah.
dollar signs
Yeah.
right there, being, that's validation, that's dollar signs, that's
Like that.
revenues, so. You put that in there next time.
Remember, this is 2 minutes completely off the cuff without much.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. No, this is fantastic.
Yeah, that's good.
So I agree with both these guys.
I just think it's great. I just love to hear the kid's first name. Repeat that twice.
That's exactly
That
what I
helps
was gonna
bring it in.
Yeah.
And then maybe more than just he got 3 offers, what happened on a follow-up to say, he ended up going with this, whatever he
Bob, get out of my head.
did.
But
Actually nailed it, yeah.
exactly. You can rephrase the story a little bit, but definitely need the first name of the kid. George, tell me about George. Don't tell me about a kid.
Mhm.
Tell me about Sam, Frank, whatever his name is. And also something that I know, because I know what you do a little bit. I didn't hear the term, and maybe this wasn't the right pitch for it, non-traditional athlete. I think that's very, very powerful. Maybe that's not.
And that's on
sports side.
which is still part of the esports. Esports is one of the sports on that. So
Okay.
when I talk more about the sports thread, which I want to do another presentation that goes fully into it. But through that, there's over 42 sports, including esports. And with esports, it really focuses on that non-traditional athlete, because there are a lot of families out there who do not want their kids playing traditional sports because of injuries, because of the media's concept over the last 20 years. But the esports side of it steps in and gives them that opportunity to still be an athlete, still get scholarships, still move to the next level. But the non-traditional athlete is also, there's a lot of benefits that come along with the non-traditional.
Right, and that's your UVP. That's why I was saying that should probably come out a little stronger, I think, just. Yeah.
Other customer segment could be girls and women. 52% of the population, right? In per minute. Same concept.
Right.
It's amazing concept.
Mhm.
I'm not kidding. Go fast, scale.
Okay, awesome.
Let's share.
Who's next?
If I could, I'd like to start with a quick survey. How many in the room have a website? A lot of business people here, it's like a given, right? I'm Robert, the founder and developer of a web app. Very close to being launched that looks at your website and realizes you have a gold mine in those websites that isn't being harvested. There's 2 billion websites in the world right now, and they're all gold mines. What am I talking about? The name of the project, and it's very close to being launched, is Open Directory Project 2.pro. Okay, that's a play on words, play on 2.0, 2.0. So Open Directory Project, it was a first one. You can do some travel down internet history, Google Open Directory Project. And this is that project on steroids. But just to give you a hint, they had 90,000 volunteers. It was before Google came out. Okay, so there's two things that my software can deliver to your website. Income, in a way that's not been done before. It's a new paradigm of ad network. And the second thing it can bring you is web traffic. Now, every website operator wants more web traffic. So those 2 billion internet people are ready for this.
Okay. Thank you. Scott?
I've heard you talk a little bit about your project before. Tell us what the problem people have. You started with and this is something that I am not a fan of. I may be the only one in the room that's not a fan of this. Don't ask for a survey during your pitch, because you're wasting time. You're wasting valuable seconds by people going, oh, that's me. Tell them, if you have a website, then you have this problem. Tell us what the problem is. And again, like we were saying, tell a story of people with websites that are of like this nature aren't making money off of it because they're lacking this. So you've identified the customer and the problem, and tell us what the problem is. Don't spend so much time on the generation of the name and why that. Tell us what you're doing with it and why it's important to your potential customers.
There are, right now, while we are talking in 1 hour, 27,000 new websites will be created. Right? There are already not billions, it's going to be trillions before you know. Right? You are coming with another website, you get it. That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough as well.
So I agree with what Scott said,
Mhm.
although asking a question to start is fine, but make it a power question.
Yeah.
Don't, not a survey, make it a power question. Yeah, so
Yeah.
something like, do you have a website or do you have a digital moneymaker? Which one? Or which one would you rather have? There's different ways you could phrase it and then boom, get into your pitch about it. But like what Scott's saying, bring up the problem, solve the problem with the question, have a power question that makes me say, oh shit,
Right.
you have a website and it hasn't made any money. I better listen to this guy.
I'd like to add something about the delivery, okay, if I may. So when you're supposed to be an entrepreneur and you're presenting your idea to somebody, you want to exude, right, an aura of confidence, of excitement, of passion, right? These are things that draw people in more than the words, okay? They'll see your passion, they'll see your confidence, they'll see that, and that draws them in, right? How many times on Shark Tank have you heard, oh, I love your passion and I love this and I'm gonna invest because, whatever. But that comes from doing all the steps you need in order to create this pitch and then practicing it, and then it's second nature, right? So I would work on that.
People buy people, not products.
Yes.
Basically.
Well, they buy value, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but they buy people first, then they'll look at your product.
Yeah.
But if they don't buy you first, you can have the cure for cancer, they don't even look twice.
Yeah.
They gotta like you first. They gotta buy
They
you.
gotta like you first, yeah. Okay.
Just adding to what you said, he can use the tone of voice that he has, if he's not comfortable and, soothing and everything, but then create a mysterious or a confident self.
Mhm.
Because then people will try to listen to him because his tone of voice is low.
Low.
So they will pay more attention to that. That drives attention too.
True.
So you can choose the hat that you use, but use it intentionally.
Mhm. That's a good point. Okay.
Hey,
Jim?
you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you? Okay.
So let me ask you all, if you had a decision that you had to make, important decision, and you could pick up the telephone and you could talk to an expert in any state in the country that you needed help and advice on, would that help you make better decisions for running your business? I would say yes. My name is Jim Alifat. I own the Keystone Financial Company, and I represent a company called PPLSI. And what we do is provide a service like that. So like many people have healthcare to take care of their family's healthcare situations, we provide legal services all across the United States and Canada to help you run your business and give you the ability to make better decisions. So what we do is provide what's known as a legal service plan. If for a small monthly fee, you get things like unlimited legal consultation, contracts and documents reviewed. The attorneys will write letters or make phone calls on your behalf. We can even provide lawsuit protection for your business and help you in the event of an audit. Sound too good to be true? Well, our business model, we have millions of members that gives us the ability to be able to reach out, hire and retain a top law firm in every state and the attorneys that are in that law firm. You call the phone, you don't get a call center, you're calling directly to the law firm in the state where you're doing business. You let them know this is what I'm calling about. You'll send them documents or things that you might need to have reviewed. And then the attorney will call you back. Not a paralegal, not an assistant, an attorney that averages over 20 years of experience that specializes in an area that you're calling about. So if you'd like to make better business decisions and have the ability to pick up the phone, talk to an attorney without having to pay the high hourly cost, I'd love to have a conversation after.
So you mentioned PPS.
CPLSI.
LSI, okay. So Are you still working with Legal Shield?
It is leadership.
Okay,
He's
Is there any
outside the parent company.
okay, but is there any
Leadership.
particular reason you didn't use that brand name in the pitch?
You know what, I wasn't really thinking about it at this point.
Okay, because it is recognizable, right? And so, so when you use that and explain it the way you did, then I think that adds a little more juice to it. Okay. So it's, yeah, instead of PPLSI, I would just say, you know, we're with Legal Shield, a multi, you know, it's $1 billion company, isn't it, right? $2.5 billion, you know, $2.5 billion legal services company providing affordable legal services to startups. You know, right? And that would help it. That was a good one. I would, yeah.
It gives a lot of credibility,
Mhm.
there's a lot of weight,
Right.
especially if you mention $2.5 billion company.
Yeah.
So you start.
They also provide wonderful identity theft protection.
Identity theft protection. Yeah,
Oh, that's right,
that too. Okay.
So I think you're very articulate. The opening question's good, but I think it still could be better. I think something along, if we're gonna keep that theme, something along the lines of, have you ever gotten the call? You know, the one from the IRS, you're being audited, you're being sued. What is the first thing you do? Find an attorney, but guess what? That's the wrong time to find one. It's too late. Let me tell you, and maybe, you know, that's just spitballing, but something along that where you really draw us in, you want to make our hearts sing. You want us to feel like, oh, wow, I do not want to be in that position. I need to listen to you. You know, what do you got?
Right. That's a good point.
I just have a question, like mentioning in the presentation, it was very good presentation, I really liked it. But a small monthly fee, is that statement something that helps, or it's more like it's again fee, it's again smaller?
That's a
Maybe
good
it's
point.
small advice.
It's a
That's a
detail.
good point. It's a,
Yeah.
I think that adds to it though, because normally when people associate legal advice, you know, they're running for the hills, right? But when you sit there and say for a small or low monthly subscription, affordable subscription, all of this is yours, right? And I think that would help too, but good point.
Jim, is that monthly amount a set fee?
Yes.
If it is, you should mention what it is, because you can say small means one thing to somebody and another thing to somebody else.
True.
Well, it's also the challenge is in a group like this, if you're dealing with a personal membership, which is less than $30 to a business membership, which could be as much as $185.
You've just given yourself
Yeah,
the
that's right.
range that you need to say.
That's right.
Yes.
Right there. You
said it,
you have put that in context and say from $29 to $180 a month.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a contrarian. I'm gonna be a contrarian on this. I'm gonna say leave it out because you gotta leave a little bit of curiosity. If you tell me everything I need to know, I don't have to talk to you ever again. I've already made my
That's a
decision.
good point.
Yes or no?
That's a good point.
Leave me curious, like make me want to come up to you and ask you a few questions. So tell me the what, but don't tell me the how. So I have to get the how from you
Pennies
later.
on the dollar.
So he could say it's highly affordable for startups and.
Or you would not believe how affordable it is,
Right.
you know, and then that
Yeah,
could lead
yeah.
into your CTA.
Or a small bit, or for a big business resources on a small business budget.
For the price of a cup of coffee per day.
Yeah.
Don't do the salary. Just kidding. That's me.
Price is supporting that.
Oh, I used to do that. Okay.
Just one question.
Sure.
For like this type of social pitch,
Mhm.
isn't it good for the person to end with their name and the company's name again? Because like 2 minutes,
Well,
listen.
well,
and-
typically you're giving it face to face with somebody.
Oh, but
So
like
they'll,
right
so
here,
if they ask for your card, that's all you need to, that's it.
But I mean, like here.
But
in
here,
this
it's like a more of a
environment,
networking pitch.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
listen to some of the pitches and
Yeah.
what's the name of the company again? No, I don't know.
Right, but even in this environment, you still know where they are and you can go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that made it successful.
It's a good point. To me, that's a little too professional. I don't
Yeah.
like professionalism is a poison, in my opinion. We need to be human, have fun, screw it up, be, you know,
Right.
whatever. And then make a real genuine connection with another being, another human. And then the business comes after that.
Yeah.
Rupert, she wanted to give a presentation.
Did you want to do it? Okay, here we go.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You get me.
So, yeah, guys, actually, I would like to tell that I'm absolutely agree with you because I think that not everybody could do amazing speech. You ask me why? Because only 20% in our whole life is extroverts. Extroverts could do it amazing. They're very bright and so on. But what have to do another more than 80% people? What? They could find somebody to help them, to help to open their personality. And I'm in this case absolutely agree with you with all your points that you have give your attraction, hook, and so on. But how? I think that cooperation is the best way how we do it. And what we do here, we do marketing, and our teams, it's absolutely extroverts, and they help to open everybody's specialization. What you say why? Because I think it's my own opinion that introverts would create amazing products. But I don't know if you see a movie BlackBerry, the three geeks create amazing products and they couldn't sell it before they find somebody who could tell for all world about this product. So in this case, cooperation is the best way to help your business, and it's because you don't need to be amazing in speech. You don't need to be amazing in social media, to make presentation, something else. You have to be, just focus on your product, and cooperation will help you to make your business success. So my name is Natalie. I'm from Ukraine, so my English is a little bit, just a flowing. But thank you for your patience and cooperation. Thank you, guys. Just call me if you need any help.
I love how you read the room and you made this pertinent. You made this relevant. This was not a canned, practiced, corporate types pitch. This was, I disagree with what you guys have just, you started off by being the contrarian and it worked. That was fantastic.
She's from Ukraine and her brother, amazing entrepreneur.
To be honest, I liked it as well. However, I still wasn't sure exactly what the problem you were solving and the solution. So I was having a little difficulty understanding the value of what you were trying to provide. And to Scott's point, as I said before, go through the process, develop the pitch, and then make it your own. So it doesn't sound canned, right? You can tell it to the same person 5 different times, and all 5 times they'll be like, wow, I learned something new or whatever. But it's so that was great.
Because you branding marketing, right? Is that
Yeah.
So one thing you could have said also is my English is not so good, but my branding and marketing is excellent.
There you go. There you go.
Use that. That is
right there.
I love it. Okay, copyright that.
My interpretation of what she was trying to say is not everybody can get up and extemporaneously talk about their product or their service in that.
Right.
And so she's saying, you need somebody to cooperate with you to do that. Or build a team, find somebody on your side that can do that for you.
Right.
And I think that's what she was trying. That's a very valid point.
It was an excellent point. Absolutely.
Hand in the back.
I like the BlackBerry reference. Because it's kind of in the range of like name drop. It's something that the audience or the person pitching to is familiar with. I mean, granted, not everybody's probably seen the movie, but if they're in this field, they know that reference. The one critique I have is that I actually think that the product wasn't that great until we had the person to sell it. The person that helped them sell it helped tweak the product. Even like if you think about Facebook, like that great scene in the Social Network movie where Timberlake's character says drop the and just have it Facebook. It's clean. Like that is part of the product. But yeah, you're fantastic. Don't worry about it.
Yes, to his point, basically say no idea, an idea is just an idea until the right marketing people bring it to life. Right? So, yeah.
You are looking at me, everything. You are looking at me.
Okay, that's pretty much it.
No,
Today, we
no.
only have 2 minutes,
Oh, yeah.
a minute and a half left.
Let me have the 2 minutes. I hate to be on this board, right?
Okay, all right.
80% of small businesses fail in the first 5 years. And that's the good news. You want to hear the bad news? That 20% that make it through, they will fail 80% of the time in the next 5 years. So if 100 start today, at the end of 10 years or before that, that has been fact for decade after decade. My goal is to change that. What is the main reason people go out of business? Money, right? They run out of money. But they're looking in the wrong place. They keep looking at increasing sales, but they're not looking beneath. Where is the money going? I teach people how to raise their prices, keep the client, and get referrals simultaneously. And it's 3 questions. And one man in this room knows those questions, right, Nick?
Yes, I know.
He's a doctor, I had to give it to him. But the system I developed, does it work? The first client I tried it with, she added $20,000 to the bottom line. My name is Tim Rickey. I'm a business coach with experience as an entrepreneur of the year for 4 decades. I can help you. If you really like to look at that, let's talk. Let me see if I can help you. If you qualify to do this. Thank you.
Yeah, that in less than a minute.
That was pretty
That
damn good.
shows up Toastmaster.
That's a.
Yeah,
That's a benefit.
right.
Yeah, it helps.
Way to end, now we don't have to ask any questions.
Let's take this part, please.
All right, so let's give a hand to everybody who tried out. Yeah. And so I'm sorry we didn't have one presentation, we had 7, so
I will take care of it next week.
yeah, and so Shan will be talking next week.
You can show up, right?
Yeah, and if we need it, I'll put something up next week too. So again,
Upstairs next week?
what's that?
We can be back upstairs next week?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I believe so. So the belief is that next week we'll be back up in the SunTrust Auditorium upstairs.
Actually, next week, we're gonna meet in the garage, he's gonna detail all our cars.
Mike needs it. Okay, so again, every Wednesday morning, and thank you all for coming. If you have any questions, please reach out to any one of the board members. And if you'll have to wait till next week to get your thing unless you want it one of these, right? Okay. So thank you all for coming, and we'll see you next week.